Hair can be a form of self-expression. It takes money, but more importantly, it takes a lot of effort to maintain good hair. In this video, I only speak of my own experience, so get your hairbrush and let's untangle the mysteries of perfect hair care. Some things that you hear today in this video you may not like very much because they may be against the common beliefs. But I'm anyway going to share with you because these are things that I genuinely follow in my life. I've been able to maintain good, healthy hair for the longest time, despite the fact that there is a lot of heating tools that have to be applied while I'm shooting these videos, and there's so many videos that I have to shoot in a day. But despite all that, I've been able to maintain healthy, lustrous hair. And that is why I thought I am a perfect person to shoot this video for you. This is more of an elderly sister advice kind of a video and not a medical advice. But yes, I have done my research as well before shooting this one for you. So there are going to be some informative tidbits for you. And you're going to really be shocked by the information that I'm going to share today. Okay, so let's start by talking about graying of hair and how we perceive it and how should we perceive it. First of all, graying of hair is absolutely normal. It's normal to have a few hair strands that are gray, or you may just call them silver. It has a lot to do with genetics. It's because of which you may start experiencing graying of hair at an early stage in life. But usually what happens these days is that most people start experiencing graying in their 30s, and it's absolutely normal to be experiencing that. If you have gray hair, there is nothing at all to be ashamed of. And I don't understand that obsession of hiding your every single gray strand on the camera. I've seen people doing that. I don't do it. Many of my videos have my gray hair showing. It's absolutely alright, because the more you get into things like these where you're questioning your looks and you're questioning how you're appearing or your appearance, the more you succumb to these shallow feelings of looking pretty outside rather than making the inner side of you pretty. Of course, the outside appearance is important. Definitely, it does play a role in your overall well-being, but the inside is more important. So yes, I pay attention to my looks, but I do not pay excessive attention to how I look. So sometimes showing some gray hair in my videos, it does not matter to me at all. I do get a few comments where people are highlighting, ma'am, you could have covered your hair. You could have, removed that one white hair standing on your head. I'm like, dude, I'm okay with it. You have a problem with it, it's your issue. It's not my problem. I'm fine with it. Graying is something that some people accept more than others. And sometimes the concerns why it is happening to you may be beyond prevention. It may be because of your genes. Premature graying is also associated with unhealthy habits like smoking, alcohol consumption. Then, of course, stress is a big factor. As much as I know, stress plays a very important role in premature graying of hair. So you must find ways to manage your stress. I do experience a lot of stress sometimes, but the first step towards resolving that for myself is realizing it, that I am feeling stressed, and realizing that this situation is not going to last forever. I just take a step back and I give myself time to experience all those feelings so that I can come out of it. Come out of that zone of discomfort that I've created in my head, that excessive negative energy. I want to get out of it. So I give myself time and I just break loose. And another one very important thing which people are not realizing these days and is a major deterrent in your hair health is sleep deprivation. If you're not sleeping well, you're harming your body in more than one way. Believe me when I say this, I sleep 8 hours every single night. Every single night, 8 hours, not even an hour short. Because that is something I truly value. It saves the integrity of my next day. I feel healthy, I feel energetic, I feel like working, getting up in the morning and doing my stuff. And it helps me cope with the anxiety and stress that comes along with the good parts of work. I do have gray hair, of course I do have. I get my hair colored. All of these things I'm gonna be covering in the 7 tips that I have for you. 7 tips, okay? Each of these tips is extremely important, and I follow all of these things in my life. So yes, before I get into it, there are a few other things that I want to share with you, and then we're going to dive into that. Now, one thing that I do want to get out of the way before we actually start talking about the points is keratin treatment. Many people really like keratin treatment and are pros for it. If I tell you personally, I hate it. Number one reason being it gives a very sapart look to your hair. It's like chapta. You're bouncy, your hair loses its volume completely. I hate keratin because of that. But of course, keratin has its pros. It may be very good for people who have very dry hair. I don't have very dry hair, so I want to avoid it because I love having volume in my hair. I love having a little bounce, which keratin totally deprives us of. So if you get a keratin treatment, it's a protein treatment. They induce protein in your hair. Your hair naturally have proteins. So what they do is they are inducing more of those proteins in your hair, which increases the weight of the hair strand. And when the hair strand is weighing heavier, it falls straight. Another thing why keratin is extremely bad for me and for everybody is because of the fumes that come out of the treatment. They are cancerous, they are very dangerous, and if you are resorting to this treatment again and again, you must cover your nose as properly as you can. Now, there are a few general tips that I have for you, and then we will talk about the specific tips that I follow for my hair. First of all, braiding is good. If you braid your hair, you allow less exposure to the outside dirt, to the outside dust. So when you braid your hair, it helps it keep it clean. Another thing is that people with dandruff should avoid using oil in their hair. I know this may go against your popular belief of putting in extra hair oil if you have dandruff. Some people might have that notion, but I'm very sure about this. I have read it from the most authentic sources, and I've heard it from the most authentic people of this industry, of this field, saying that if you have dandruff, it is because of oily scalp. So if you're putting in more oil, you are increasing your troubles. You are increasing your dandruff. So avoid using oil if you have dandruff in your hair. Another thing is chlorine is damaging for hair. So if you swim, you must cover your hair properly. Avoid the contact with chlorine because it strips off natural oils of your hair. The way overexposure to sun is damaging for your skin, so it is for your hair, because your hair is also part of your skin. That is why you see a dermatologist if there's something wrong with hair, right? Because derma is skin. Your hair is also your skin. You must have seen this branding on several shampoos saying paraben free, sulfates free. But have you ever bothered to look into what sulfates are and how do they harm your hair? Sulfates in a shampoo help strip away the oil and dirt from your hair. However, hair do need some oil to maintain that natural moisture. So sulfates actually does overcorrection. So that is why sulfates in the long run create dryness in your hair. Talking about parabens, parabens have been used in the shampoos for the longest time to control their mold growth, to control the bacterial growth in the shampoo, to give them a longer life. This makes the shampoos withstand the harsh conditions of manufacturing and storage. However, it's not good for you, it's not good for your skin. On top of that, they are inexpensive, because of which companies used to use them a lot in our previous shampoos that we used to have earlier. Nowadays, most shampoos do not have parabens. It's like a marketing thing that's going on around the world. So now we finally come to the points that we have to discuss, how I maintain my hair. I've got some clippings for you to show you how I live my life and a little about how I take care of my hair. I hope you enjoy those clips. First is hair color. Do I get my hair colored? Of course I do. However, I have never ever resorted to bleaching my hair. Whenever I go to a parlor, this is the first thing I mention to them whenever they have to color my hair, that you're not using bleach on my hair. Bleach is used to bring out whatever, take out all the black that you have in your hair, the melanin. It takes away all the melanin of your hair, leaving your hair absolutely dry in the long run. So if you bleach your hair, like there are some colors that you cannot apply on your hair as it is because they won't catch up. So if I apply a red on my hair, it's not going to show because it's the natural color is gonna be more visible than the red that I'm applying. So that is why they say that we need to take out your natural color using bleach, and then we will put the extra layer of red so that the red shows. But in the long run, it's very, very unhealthy for your hair. So because of which I only use the colors that are okay to be used without a bleach. Only the light browns and the light shades. These days there are so many options available to have those streaks that are available in the market. Just clip in, clip-ons. Just clip on those streaks and you can enjoy colorful hair and then take them out when you're done. Bleaching makes your hair go brittle. Bleaching, what it does is that it changes the protein structure of your hair. It breaks the protein bands of your hair, because of which it becomes weak and more prone to breakage. So yes, avoid bleaching. Point number 2. Sunlight consists of ultraviolet rays or UV rays, as you may call them. And this invisible radiation is damaging for human cells, including the ones on your scalp, which make up the structure of your hair. So be careful when you're on the beach because you're mostly very exposed to sun on the beach. What you can do is use serum on your hair because serum gives a protective layer to hair. Apart from that, there is also sunscreen available for hair. You can use that. And the best tip is to cover your head if you can. Just cover it with a scarf, okay? Point number 3 is wash your hair at lesser gaps. There are people who don't wash their hair for a week or so. They somehow are living in this feeling, this idea that the more they use shampoo on their hair, the more damaging it is going to be for the hair. No, it's not so. I heard Javed Habib talking about it in one of his interviews, and it kind of stayed with me. I actually could connect with the thought that when you wash your hair at every 2 or 3 days gap, it's actually really good for your hair because you're cleaning your hair. What you're doing is while washing is that you're cleaning your hair. So any bacterial infection that's growing or any unhealthy growth that's coming up in your scalp will get rinsed off. Research shows that sweat from the glands in your hair contain lactate, urea, some other substances that make it a perfect environment for the wrong kind of bacteria to grow. So yes, you must avoid washing your hair at bigger distances, at bigger gaps. I wash my hair every 2 or 3 days. It's like either 1 day gap or 2 days gap at max. Another thing is that when I'm washing my hair, I try and use a hair mask at least twice in a month. So I have a bottle with me. I use this bottle twice, just a little bit of quantity, apply on your hair, damp hair, leave it for 6-7 minutes and then wash it off. That's what I do, and the impact is so beautiful. It feels so good when I use hair masks. I really like them. They give you bounce at the same time. They give you a lot of luster and shine, and just overall the hair look well kept. Next is oiling of hair. I oil my hair very regularly. However, there are do's and don'ts for it. Let's discuss these. First is don't leave hair oil on for the entire night. It's going to block your pores if you leave oil in your hair overnight. So avoid that. Avoid combing after oiling your hair because once you massage your head, it becomes fragile, it becomes more relaxed. So it's just better not to use a comb around then because it's going to result into breakage. Regular oiling and combining it with a massage, 10-15 minute massage, can really improve the blood flow and oxygen in your scalp, which is really good for your hair health. Next is a very basic thing that I have been following for almost 5-6 years now, and that is one hair spa every single month. I get the most basic one. I don't spend a lot on my hair spas, but yes, I do use hair spas because they also give you steam when you get a hair spa. Steam is very good for your hair. If you can do it at home, good for you. I am unable to do that at home, but yes, when you go for a hair spa, steam is a very usual process that they allow 5-6 minutes of steam to your hair, which is very good for the overall moisture of your hair. If they don't provide you steam, just ask for it. Tell them that you want to have your hair steamed. Next point is I use the least possible number of hot tools on my hair. I avoid them as much as I can. I don't use them very often. You might see a lot of my videos on Instagram or even on YouTube where it's actually my natural hair. I haven't used any hot tools on my hair. It's just the way hair look like. See, today I have used a hot tool, to be honest. But there are several hundreds of videos where I have not used any hot tool on my hair. My hair are naturally straight. Not as straight as a parlor straight, but yeah, otherwise also they are fair enough. I can like shoot videos comfortably with the kind of hair I have. It's because of the health hygiene that I follow, probably. But yes, there is work and there is a lot of effort that goes into doing this. But if you have to use hot tools, the one thing that you need to be very, very sure of is using a good tool. Use the good ones. Use proper brands. Avoid using the cheap ones. Another thing is always use a serum when you are about to use a hot tool on your hair. Put some good deal of serum in your hair because it gives a protective layer to the hair fiber. Okay. Now, last point is getting trimming done every 3 to 4 months. Now, few of you may say, ma'am, 3 to 4 months is a very long period of time. I don't see split ends in my hair in a month. 3 months is very comfortable for me. It actually helps you grow your hair further because the split ends, they slow down the growth. So it's better to have them removed from your hair. So that's all about it in this video. I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you learned something new. Tell me if there is any one thing that is unique that you follow in your health hygiene. Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to find out and probably there'd be something for me to learn from. Alright, I'll see you in the next video. Please take care of yourself. Bye-bye.